President Trump saying that starting next week, millions of illegal immigrants will be facing rapid removal from federal agents. Meanwhile, the U.S. could be getting new help from Guatemala. William Jeunesse is live on the Guatemala border with Mexico. Live for us now. William.
Well, Sandra, what you're talking about and what you see here is actually a big deal and could make a big difference on the U.S.-Mexican border and what the Border Patrol is doing right now. So basically, we reported yesterday on your show that Guatemala was considering a deal, a safe third country agreement, which would require Hondurans and Salvadorans to request asylum there. If they showed up at the U.S. border, they could legally be denied. Now, President Trump is reporting that Guatemala is actually close to signing that deal. The U.S. has also asked the same thing of Mexico, but they have so far refused. However, I got to tell you, what is happening here in Mexico is light years compared to what it was 7 months ago when they were offering these migrants work permits, visas, health care, housing, when federal police were actually putting migrants on trucks going to the U.S. Now, what they are doing is they're checking buses like this, and you can't see it because this one's big, but all the buses and the public traffic, the taxis, they're checking them out, going aboard and checking everyone's papers, and if they are not in order, they will be deported. So Mexico is now deploying about 6,000 National Guard, not just to checkpoints like this, not just along the river, which does offer some deterrent, but they're also going to choke points like bus stations, truck stops, going to the rail yards where migrants are basically going, so they can thin out the number of people who are currently in the pipeline, with the idea, of course, that fewer people will ultimately show up at the U.S. border, Texas, California, Arizona, and so forth. Everyone is not happy. Human rights groups are saying that Mexico is punishing people who are fleeing violence and political oppression, and they're looking for a safe place. Some video we shot just moments ago from the Mexican Commission for Refugees, people there asking for visas to stay here in Mexico and or go to the United States. I will tell you that many of those are afraid to go home.